Hello, dear friends. Welcome in Homeopathic Canada live session. And today I'm going to start one new series of remedies in which we are going to discuss actions of the remedies. We all know that we read all different type of materia medicas in which there is different types of symptoms. It may be a keynotes, it may be a proving symptoms, clinical symptoms, and so on, different types of symptoms. And we apply them in our clinic. So before understanding the symptom, we should know the action of the remedy. Any particular remedy act on any particular part of the body where the effects of the remedy is more, where the effects of the remedy is less. So we can get the roughly idea that if whenever we are choosing the remedy, we have a particular areas where we can understand that while case taking, and for the confirmation of the remedy, this remedy will work or not work. So it will reduce our we can say that error, especially in our prescribing the remedies. So today's remedy is podophyllum. How it work, where it work, what are the particular area where this remedy action we can see mostly this remedy is acted on any particular area. So we will discuss today this one. So podophyllum was proved in first, third and 15 dilutions by Dr. Williamson in 1844. And this is published in Materia Medica of American Proving. After that, Dr. Hare record the same medicine in New Remedies. In Allen's Encyclopedia, you will get more symptoms about these remedies. So podophyllum came to us with the reputations of collegiate purgatives resembling calomel. The reputations of this remedy is, its collegiate means any substance that promoting an increased flow of bile. Increase flow of bile. So 3 sets of experiments have been done in lower animals. First, Dr. Anstey, first experience done by him, Dr. Hodge Bennett and Dr. Rutherford. These are the 3 person who did experiment in lower animals. Dr. Anstey found an increased quantity of bile in the evacuations, a comparatively a rare phenomena. So every single person did a different experiment with this remedy, and Dr. Anstey says it while this particular remedy is prescribed to lower animals, he found that there is a increased flow of bile. Increased flow of bile, and after that Dr. Hughes Bennett found purgations by this drug, as by other agents diminish the flow of bile through the biliary fistula. But even when the dose fell short of producing these effects, the solid elements of the secretion were reduced in quantity, though its fluid portion was somewhat increased. So the same thing is found by Dr. Hugh Bennett as found in Dr. Anstey. Increase the flow of bile. So both observers seem to interfere with the infer that podophyllum has no action on liver. They did experiment in lower animals. They found that at a particular dose, the flow of bile is increased. But on the same time, they said that we didn't see any action of podophyllum on the liver. This was happened in animals. But I cannot think that such a conclusion is fairly deducible from this fact. They did experiment on animals, but they didn't see the action of these remedies on human being. They found that in lower animals there is an increased flow of bile, but on the same time both said there is no action on the liver. But other authors who did further experiments on human beings, they observed something different. So on the contrary, they seem to be such as to invite further experimentations, especially on human subject, with the view of following up their hints. So if they did experiment on human being, we can clarify, we can understand the exact nature of this remedy. So my own expectation is that podophyllum will be found to act here as we have seen in mercury in the mouth. That is, its irritant influence on the duodenum, which will come before us, lead to a copious flow of bile from the gallbladder and liver, but that it may also act on liver itself, congesting it and so impairing its function. So when all these experiments have seen on human body, they experience that the main action of this remedy is on the duodenum, the first part of small intestine. So this irritant influence the duodenum, lead to the copious flow of bile from the gallbladder. So the gallbladder producing more bile, and that bile is enter into the duodenum. So that bile irritate the duodenal part and congested the liver. But that it may also act on liver itself, congested it, impair its function at the same time. Both things happen at the same time. The former part of this hypothesis seemed confirmed by Dr. Rutherford. So this experiment, before Dr. Anstey, Dr. Hugh Bennett both did experiment on lower animals, and they found that there is an increase of bile, but there is no action on liver. After that, further experiments show that there is an increase of the bile, and that bile, when enter into the small intestine, it irritates the duodenum. And the same time that same medicine is congested the liver. So it means it acting on the both side. On that experiment is clarified by Dr. Rutherford, who on introducing on podophyllum into the duodenum of fasting dog found it increased the amount, both the solid and the fluid elements of the bile. It means he confirmed this hypothesis by Rutherford. However, this may be, there is, as with mercury, a consensus of the opinion as to its therapeutical virtue, which no physiological evidence can set aside. Dose much too small to induce purgatives. So have been shown by the practitioner of both schools to act with the best effect of relieving hepatic torpor and partial stagnations, to the great benefit of the patients. So both school, it may be a homeopathic school or it may be an allopathic school, they just looking for relief for the patients. Then after that, Dr. John Murray, another doctors who published his observation in 31st volume of British Journal of Homeopathy, and to those of Dr. W.A. Allen in the 4th volume of American Homeopathic Times. The latter believe it is the great remedy to rectify the hepatic disorders occurring under malarious influence. So this remedy act especially under particular circumstances. When the liver is affected due to malaria influence, when there is a malaria influence, after that the liver is involved, that particular situation is affected by podophyllum. So, and it cannot act as a cholagogue in his hand, as he give it in dose which could only avail for a true homeopathic operation. What he said, the second and third attenuation where constipation is present, liver is involved, malarial infections, the liver involved after malarial infections, and he said if there is a constipation, he talked about the doses, the second or third attenuation where constipation is present, and 30 or higher potency when diarrhea is present. Liver involvement, malarial origin, if constipation is there, lower attenuations, and if diarrhea is there, higher potency. Whatever be the cause behind it, it seems evident that so long as we stop short of its purgative effects, no harm is done. Next, we get on clear ground when we come to the intestine influence of the drug. So now we are going to talk about the effects in the intestine. It rarely causes vomiting and purging, as well known. As we see, the drug rarely causes vomiting or purging, but the experiment of Dr. Einstein have enabled us to define this drug with a great precision. He found in numerous experiments on dog and cat that an alcoholic solution of podophyllum, when introduced into the peritoneal cavity, caused no inflammations there. They inject the podophyllum in peritoneal cavity, didn't find any inflammations. But set up in small intestine an intense hyperemia. But he found that in the first part of small intestine there is a intense hyperemia, highly red. That part is totally red. The duodenum was chiefly affected. Duodenum was chiefly affected and actually ulcerated was more than once dwelt there. So it means there is a ulceration, hyperemic condition there. The lining of the membrane of the whole small gut was generally found covered with bloody mucus. Any affection, any particular situation when there is a first part of the intestine is involved, hyperemia or maybe ulcerations there, podophyllum can cover this situation, because podophyllum cause increase the bile. That bile when enter into the duodenum, it affect the covering of the duodenum and cause ulcerations and hyperemic condition. The inflammation usually ceases at the ileocecal wall. There, this inflammation stop, but occasionally invaded the large intestine. The frequent stool consisted of glary mucus, sometimes stained with bile, but most commonly with the blood. So these are very important results. They give us a podophyllum, another medicine to add. So here, because that time they already know the remedies who affect the first part of intestine, and these remedies are arsenic, kali bichromatum, and uranium nitricum. These are the remedies specifically acted on duodenum and capable of controlling ulcerations there. So now we know that if any particular situation like hyperemia, ulceration condition is there, we know 4 remedies: podophyllum, arsenic, kali bichromatum, and uranium nitricum. These remedies act in first part of intestine, and we can manage with these remedy with ulcerations or hyperemic condition of this part. So, and more, they give us a remedy truly homeopathic to enteritis, inflammation of intestine affecting the duodenum and ileum, which neither these nor mercor are. The first enabled me once to cure a duodenitis which was resisting arsenic. Arsenic didn't work, but this remedy act over there. The latter show a local affinity for the diarrhea of typhoid. So what we read before, when there is affections of malarial origin, here is typhoid origin. So the arsenic show a local affinity of diarrhea of typhoid, in which a simple enteritis affecting the same part, the drug may do good results. It means if arsenic is the remedy, then duodenum is involved, and that person is prone to diarrhea having a typhoid in history, and that diarrhea is produced because of the typhoid, arsenic is the remedy. But when there is a malarial origin, same condition, then the remedy is podophyllum. Then the remedy is podophyllum, not arsenic. So no action on the rectum was manifested in animal poison by Dr. Einstein, but in the human subject, especially in children, this part is readily affected by the drug, as shown in tenesmus and prolapsus recti, complicated with diarrhea. The feeble affinity of podophyllum for the colon make it unsuitable for ordinary dysentery, which has its seat there. But when dysenteric diarrhea appear to depend on inflammatory irritation of the rectum, it will give rapid relief. But dysenteric diarrhea appear to depend on inflammatory irritations of rectum. Irritations of the rectum is there, diarrhea is there, then this remedy can act. So Dr. Hale speak of having seen 2 more cases caused by the overuse of this drug, and Dr. Hammersmith, who repeatedly cured these condition with the remedy. So beside enteritis of the small intestine, dysentery of the rectum, podophyllum is used in several forms of diarrhea. It may be both acute or chronic. Dr. Ringer and Phillips concur with us in praising it here, adding the necessary cautions that it must be administered in very small dose. It administered in very small dose, and Dr. Ringer moreover confirmed that homeopathists have always regarded as a main indications for the medicine in chronic diarrhea, and that is it occurs especially in the morning. When diarrhea having a particular time, and that time is early in the morning, it is often serviceable in cholera nostrum and cholera infantum, but its place in their therapeutic is hardly yet defined. So it is very useful in stool are too frequent yet natural. This is the main point here. So too frequent of stool but natural stool every time. So this is this is not uncommon complaint of children's, but these are present. Dr. Grunesse said sense of falling in abdomen as specially indicated it, and he is talking about uterus. When uterus having a patient having a falling of abdomen feeling, we can use this remedy. So if we talk about morning aggravation, Dr. Sealer, he said that podophyllum resemble aloes and sulfur, but may easily be differentiated from these. How we differentiate? The stool of the aloe is windy sprout of watery and slimy yellow fecal matter, the desire for which can hardly for an instant be controlled from a seeming, if not real, weakness of the internal sphincter. And he cannot control. He feels that the sphincter is remain opened. sulfur demand equal haste for with tenesmus, and it is shown as brown stool, but not specially flatulent. There is no not windy, neither so scanty as that of aloes. Aloes are profuse, nor so profuse that of in podophyllum. Podophyllum get its victim up early, wake up, but not in so great haste with others as in sulfur, as in aloes. They have a hurry to go to the toilet, but patient of podophyllum wake up early in the morning, but not in hasty, here, not in rush to go to the toilet, and having a profuse yellowish or greenish stool, so profuse indeed that one wonder once so much can come. It is more than aloes and sulfur, and having a offensive stool. So this is the action of this remedy. So now maybe you can understand the particular area where podophyllum can act. So this is the first session. We already discussed the action of podophyllum, where it act, what are the criteria, how to differentiate podophyllum from aloes and sulfur, what are the feeling when we are prescribing the same remedy in uterine complaint. And I explain you again, Dr. Grunese says if the patient having feeling of something falling down in abdomen, especially in the uterus, we can use podophyllum. So this is all about today. Tomorrow maybe we will discuss another remedy, another actions, how the remedies act in our system. And stay tuned. And if you like this video, like this page, share these videos with others, so every can learn the actions of the remedies. Thank you so much.